Hey, welcome to Cut. It's a wrap. We're your host. I'm Antonia, and I'm with my co-host, Amianza. And we're bringing you all of the tea, all of the drama is going on with Ready to Love season 5. This is our first review for the season. Mainly we were strongly kind of gravitating towards it being in DC. So we decided to do a Ready to Love recap in DC because we're both from DC. And hopefully you enjoy. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you've been with us, go ahead and comment. And if you like what you see, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you like a little more, you want to see a little more of what we do, you can go ahead and subscribe to our podcast, which is streaming in all major platforms.
Subscribe to our
podcast. So we gonna get into it because this is what we do. Because the reunion,
it was brilliant.
The reunion was everything. The reunion, I knew the reunion was going to give all the qu'est-ce que c'est du Levant. It was going to give us everything.
Qu'est-ce que c'est, s'il vous plaît?
Ou comme c'est comme ça. Ou voilà. It was going to give us ooh la la. It was giving us everything. And we did that. We predicted that and it did. So we are going to get all the way into it. If you're a little distracted, because I know I am, I put mascara on my eye and now it's just like bleeding. Keep bleeding. It really is. But whatever. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, and the title of this show is it Ghetto? And we'll get there. Was the show Ghetto?
It wasn't, but at the same time, so the fuck what? I mean, like, I don't like using ghetto as a thing because it's celebratory for me because ghetto is creative. You know what I mean? So,
right. I agree, but in the context in what she was saying, maybe she meant to say ratchet.
I can say that. So we can say that. Ratchetness. It was
like, this is the OWN network, okay?
Yeah, but going back and forth, it was giving me Bravo, not OWN.
Yes, that bickering. But you know, I'm having my Real Housewife withdrawals anyway, so I guess that was
I was feeding into it. But I feel like the people, in essence, we're going to go from the beginning to the end, but the reason why she was probably calling it ghetto or whatever like that, because people were confronting other people and other people were not owning up to, you know, their
which is so crazy because first I want Camille and Cornelia. First of all, Camille, girl, I feel like you making us feel real crazy. You bringing us into your crazy. But it's just this the continent. I can't even say it. Dissonance is just, it's appalling. Like, what the heck? Like, how you gonna keep denying something? And they got the tape. And I feel like she's just not taking this whole thing seriously, which is making it seem, you know, you're just downplaying the integrity of the show because you're acting like, what? I didn't say that. Oh, because I have so many personalities. Like, she was just doing too much. She was doing too much for me. And I don't know if she acts like that in real life or she just putting on for the cameras, but or she just really need to see somebody about her 3 personalities.
Yeah, seeking therapy. I feel like that really affected you at this moment because that happened in the middle or the end.
Okay, you want to start from the beginning?
So I'm mad you got that off your chest.
I'll say it again when we get to it.
We sure will, because Camille was a trip. She's a trip and she's a vacation. Okay. But let's start with Sean. So it started off with Sean and probably started off with, and I'm kind of confused because, okay, they started off with Sean, but when are they going to get to the women who were eliminated first? Like the what was her name? Oh, her name escapes me. But she was funny because she was the first one who was eliminated. Initially, she was one of the first ones who were
Yeah, I know.
eliminated.
She had the a great, bright personality.
And
But
she,
before, sorry, go ahead.
um and we didn't discuss her or her reasoning. I think her name was Nadia. It wasn't Nadia.
I don't know. We got to Google it.
Yeah, to Google it right quick. But she tripped me out because throughout the episode, you can see her in the green room eating. Like she looked like she was getting all the tea. And
Mhm.
notice, like when you're in that type of situation, in that environment, you're not eating. You're kind of stressed. You're kind of, a little high strung and ready for your part. But since she was eliminated early, listen, she had an appetite. She was hungry. So every time the screen or the cameraman would get to her, she over here eating a banana, she over here eating chips, she over here look like she watching TV like us, be like, oh nah, she shouldn't have. Oh no, she's just
Uh-huh.
hungry. And it was like she tripped me out. So shout out to her.
Her name is, let me see. I'm looking it up now. Libba.
Libba, yeah, Libba.
Libba.
Libba was the first
L.
one who got eliminated, but
Yeah.
she was
And
having a good time.
but also shout out to Tanika, who was the host for tonight, and she was good. When she got up there, I said, "Thank you. I'm so nephew Tommy. I pray you have a speedy recovery." But Tanika, I was so happy to see her. I was so happy.
Yes. Was it Tanika Ray? Was that her name?
I
She
think
was great. I mean, I always thought, and we said that they needed a woman host or somebody that kind of a good listener, because
right.
what I noticed with her, she actually listens and she holds the women accountable. So I feel like, I don't know, it's because, nephew Tommy is a man and he wants to kind of like, not give the women uh too much accountability, or he doesn't want to be too hard on the women or whatever.
Step on
um
anybody's toes, get a lawsuit. I don't know.
yeah, but she was in her own way, in her own womanness, she called called them out, or really kind of held their feet to the fire in her own way. She didn't have to like Ayala Van Zant them, but she did be like, okay, so you did this in the video, so were you aware that
Hmm.
so?
Yeah.
Um, I liked her, and I hope they keep her. I think
Mhm.
everything happens through, this was divinely orchestrated, and I hopefully they're able to switcheroo with cat different host, like
Hmm.
so
Just try it
this,
out. See how it works.
yeah, so it can be two co-hosts, and
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's try it out. See it work. It doesn't always have to be Nephew Tommy. I think Nephew Tommy is more of a face, but
Yeah.
he's not really a counselor or a listener.
Yeah.
He's not
He'll
really
be
a good
good.
listener. Maybe he listens to his wife and but not with these people.
He'll be like, he's good, for the show when the show's going on to introduce what's happening or whatever. And even then, I still think they need a woman for that. I mean, not, a co-host. He needs a co-host.
A
But
co-host. It's women and men, so you can talk
yeah.
to the men and let them talk to the women. So Sean did say, and I like Sean. I do like Sean because he really articulated how he felt when he met Sabrina's friends, which we already initially say I didn't like her friends; they were rude. Sean, when he met his friends, he was like, "Yeah, hallelujah, I'm gone." Yeah, because he really feel like he didn't have any authentic connections anyway, so he was ready to go. And
Right.
he confronted Sabrina about it and was saying basically what we saw, that it was just he felt attacked, and Sabrina apologized. You think her apology was sincere?
Yeah, when I saw Sean, I was just like, oh, poor Sean. Poor Sean. Because Sean, he had it hard. And that was one of the scenes that I could not stand. I did not like
Mm-hmm.
how Sabrina's friends came for him. And do I think her apology was sincere? I think after she saw the hateration and holleration she was getting from the viewers, then she got a sincere apology because everybody was bashing her for having her friends come for him like that. So it sounded, yeah, I think it was sincere after she probably had a come to Jesus moment. But
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yep. And
Excuse me.
what else after that? So that scene was good. I'm glad Sean had his
Yeah, they squashed
full.
that. So moving on to
It was
so
Sydney and Phil.
Theo and Sydney. I
I smiled
love watching them
the
on
whole
TV.
time.
I did
I
too. They
smiled the
made you
whole
smile. They made
time.
you be like,
I said,
oh.
you know what? We need this. We need to see this black love on TV. This is why I watch Ready to Live for this
Hmm.
love to see this love unfold. Like we need to see it. We need to see it. I
I thought
love
they were
them,
cute. I
and they
thought they
felt
were.
genuine. They felt really genuine.
Mm-hmm. Like it's really nothing to say. They already. You can feel their oneness through from the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't, whatever, despite either her intentions on the show or his intentions on the show, whatever the case may be, I feel like it's authentic. I think it's an authentic match, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. I think they're cute. You know what I mean? They're not giving, because I feel like we have a good instinct on stuff. You know what I mean? Like we already knew Jason and Liz wasn't going to work, and they were trying to force feed us that. But I think Phil and Sydney will probably kind of move because they kind of opposites attract kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
she's more kind of outgoing, and he's a little laid back. So
yeah,
it was cute.
and they looked really good together. I love Sydney's dress. I was like, you know what?
She looking like a lady. She ain't look
A
like she wants to flip.
lady. She didn't go to the club. I was a little worried, like, Sydney, what you about to wear, girl? But she had on a really cute dress. And I really think that um, seeing Black people, like, not even that, I think, just fall for each other, seeing the process of them falling for each other was beautiful. And when they
Mhm.
said, so y'all still together? And it was like, yes, we are still together. We're together.
And it was confirmed. We're exclusive.
He was specific. We are exclusive. Yes.
Yeah. So when somebody says it's exclusive, does it mean they're boyfriend and girlfriend, or are they
Seeing each
just
other.
not just seeing each other? What is that the same thing?
I don't know what the kids' lingo is today.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
if it's exclusive? Yeah. I mean,
because
maybe
it's not a title. So is it
exclusive on
exclusive
the road to being
boyfriend and girlfriend?
boyfriend and girlfriend. That means don't you sleep with nobody. It's just me and you. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so why don't we just put a title to it? See, when now we sitting here dissecting this. So when you say exclusive, so I feel like now it's a gray area. Let's put a pin in it.
Mm,
Right.
damn it! Why you gotta be all like that?
I'm saying.
But we don't know. They got a process. It could be a process.
Whatever. Okay.
Because
It
we
could
don't
be for
know.
the. It
Phil
could be
did have
for
that
for
on
the.
again, off again girlfriend. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Yeah, this is my ex. We're on. We've been on again, off again."
Yeah, he be having situationships. Now sitting here dissecting Phil and Cindy is like, is it not or is it yeah? So we'll see. Now
Hopefully,
I'm
he's
sad.
not one of them. My Earth, my queens.
He's not a Earth. I feel like he can be. I feel like Phil is authentic, but um, I don't know. I'm worried about. I'm not. I don't even have any worries. I'm just curious to see how this goes. How far
Yeah.
along this
I
goes.
mean, for now, they cute. I don't get. Remember last season? I don't get Liz and Jason vibes
Auntie and nephew.
where it feels forced, or either the other couples. It just doesn't feel forced to me. It feel like okay, yeah, this is genuine.
Okay. All right. So now we see Crazy Camille. I mean, Camille. And she's talking about and we saw something that we didn't see that they edited out about her three personalities when
Yes.
she was on a date with Dante. We didn't see that. I wrote
And
down she needs therapy. Something's wrong with her.
you said she was in therapy, or
She's lying. She's a liar. I think she just says stuff just for play. And she reminds me of a serial killer.
she a little crazy. But I was distracted by Cornelius' suit, his shiny orange suit. And I was distracted by his
And his
grills.
grill. Smile for me, daddy. I want to see your grill. You
I
want to
was
see my what?
distracted. Like,
Yeah. What the
what are
fuck
you
is wrong with him?
doing? This is not how you dressed all season, and now you want to look like Superfly at the reunion.
No, Superfly. You want to look like
Cash
Ice
money.
Cube Trey from the Cookout and Boys in the Hood with that shiny ass. Ooh. You
Got
look like
his suit from Sears.
right.
Anyway,
You look
that
like you
distracted
selling
me.
blocks.
But yeah, going back to Camille.
Yeah, he did a 180. That's all I got from her. She just seems like very possessive over like that whole interaction. It still reminds me of, just she seems a little controlling. I don't know how their relationship is off camera. It just, she still seems a little possessive. I don't know. Cornelius, blink once,
Please, please.
blink twice if you in an abusive relationship. Let us know, because this is dangerous. Like, everybody's trying to give you a sign. Like the homeboys, the guys that's on the show are trying to let you know the girl is crazy.
Yes.
Stop talking to her. And the women are also trying to let you know, like, this is not
It's
the
not
good.
healthy. It's
It's not.
not healthy.
It's
This is not right. Well,
and I don't know if it's initially is he. I'm sorry, I mean cut you off. Go ahead.
oh crap! What was I going to say?
I don't know.
I want to know like his history, his dating. Like even though he interviewed his girlfriend, came and got to interview Camille. I want to ask her, how was he in the relationship? You know what I mean? Because she seems like she got herself together.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem controlling or crazy. So I'm just really, really, really confused. But what I do like in that scene, and this is production, kudos to you for switching up this whole format. Y'all ain't keep everybody on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all put people in the back and put some in the front. And I love the dudes in the back. And everybody in the back commentating like, oh my gosh.
Like the football
Tanika
game.
asked, so have y'all moved in? And he was like, no. And then they put them in the back. Was like, they probably about to move in. They go move in together. Like they was like really commentating like the audience. They really sounded like how we sound. So that was a great switch up. Good job, guys.
I just, uh, I
What?
just feel like, he is captivated by dead ass. Like, Camille got a nice body or whatever, and that's the first thing he said when he noticed her or whatever like that. And of course, that's the first initiation. And I don't know if he over here, he about to just keep doing this and playing his celibacy card until he tap that ass, and then be like, oh, whatever.
Making that ass.
But you know what I mean? Because I don't know what guy, what heterosexual man will stay with a woman who is absolutely visually that controlling and that
Disrespectful.
very disrespectful in her energy and her vibe towards other women and towards the opposite sex is not good at all.
Mm-mm.
So and then you're defending her, and you're also like when something's on camera and they just replay, and you're still like, I'm a stick beside him. What?
That's
I'm a stick
what got
beside him.
on my. Hold on. What
I
did I
said,
put?
what? You're lying.
I'll put this girl is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She is
And
straight
you're
up
engaging in her craziness.
wacky. And I really hope she planned for the cameras, but then I don't know. But she is super cuckoo.
I don't know. This is really, I
And
can't
their
really pinpoint
relationship
him. I don't know.
is super weird. The whole relationship is really weird. And ugh. Anyway, it just felt like the Cornelius and Camille show in that first half.
It did.
Because
This
it
whole
was just
episode did, because we went back to them like 3 times. Enough with them. I really.
I'm tired of them.
So Tyrone. Tyrone came on
Hmm.
about Carrie and how I'm looking at
Oh
it.
wait, sorry, I do
Yeah.
have a note. One thing
Hmm.
about Camille, and this was irritating to me. For her, she claimed that she had 3 different personalities, and when they played back the tape or whatever, she was just like, "But I bring them out when, I let people know when they're here. Olivia, Shy, what? Who are they? I don't know." But I'm gonna
We're
sit
not naming them.
there. I want her to not joke about that. It's not funny. Like people are really going through mental health issues, and you just bringing up your alter egos just because you think it's cute, or just to make an excuse for you not being accountable for your actions. Be accountable for being an asshole. Like,
Yeah,
period.
I agree. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. Really. No, that's really true. Oh, you said something about her, and I also had something else about her that I can't remember until you just said it. Fuck, I hate when that happens. But I did write that I feel like Cornelius is very insecure if he's talking to her.
Who Cornelius?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, it'll come back to me. So we talked about, Tyrone when he was just putting all his eggs in one basket, talking to Shiloh, and he just carried, and he changed his mind about her. Like he said, put in that keyword for black people, black women. You're a little too aggressive. And
Aggressive, yeah.
and then at the end started was like, oh, I saw her as a wife. I was confused about that. He
But
when
what?
he's when he said he was like, oh, I see Zadia as somebody I can date. I don't know, date or talk to, one of them. And then he said this person as this and this person is that, and I
I wish
see
I wrote down,
Carrie
and
as
then
a
because
wife.
I so hear what you're saying, and while I was taking my notes, I was like, I still don't know these people's names. That's crazy. Um, but I do like how uh, Tyrone and the girl, what's her name,
Carrie.
Carrie, they did have an adult conversation and like bridge that gap about him saying that she was aggressive. And I like
Hmm.
how Tanika asked that and clarified, how you can't call black women aggressive. That's the bad word. And he agreed and was like, "You're right. That was the wrong word for me to say." And then they apologized and had an adult conversation, like
Yes.
an adult.
Ownership.
They sounded like adults and took ownership of their actions, like you should,
Like an adult.
like a
Like
grown up.
grown up. And Shiloh wasn't there
And where is Shiloh? Where is
because
he?
she's not there because she is a liar.
Or maybe they're gonna bring her out as for part 2. I hope so.
He said she wasn't coming. I'm saying this because, and you know what? I advocate for the women. I do. But Shiloh, she doesn't want to face the violin.
That
She's
Phil and her,
lying. You
Phil and
sitting
Sydney
here.
are beautiful together, and he didn't choose her.
Yeah. And you were sitting here trying to defame this man's name, talking about you think he's trying to harm me or hurt me. Yes, you're gonna say yes. Pause emotionally, like you knew some people were going to be coming for you. And I don't know about I don't like attacking women. I hate when people go and butcher people online or whatever like that. Just leave it whatever to yourself, but don't go ahead and get in their DMs. Like that's not going to make any.
It makes you look crazy. Don't slide in people's DM.
Yeah. But at the same time, I hope people near and dear to her hold her accountable.
I
I guess
agree.
what I'm saying.
They need to. But to go back what you were saying about Tyrone, I think what he was saying, because he said he was in deliberation with the men
Mm-hmm.
and they asked about his choices. And I guess for him to narrow it down, he probably said, I see
Excuse me.
Carrie as a girlfriend, so and so as a homie, and Shiloh as a wife.
No, he said Carrie is the wife.
Oh, he mixed up. He meant to say, because in the show, he told, I think he told Carrie or Sabrina
Oh yeah, he did in the video.
that he's married. They
Oh,
should
see,
have
I was
rolled that
lost on
clip
that.
back because now
Okay, but
that's the one
yeah,
time they should have ran back a clip because I was confused too. But because, I remember because we do the reviews, I remember. But if
yeah,
I was just
that's
watching just to watch, I wouldn't know what the hell they was talking about. So they should have just rolled that clip when they was in the pool with Sabrina and him was in the pool, and he said, "I see Shiloh as a wife."
he did say that. Okay, so now I'm confused. Okay, now it makes sense. Because I was like, well, if you see her as a wife, why did you eliminate her? Okay, so he was talking about
That,
previously when he said that, and he said Shiloh.
and
Okay, but
he
and
got
then
confused. Yeah.
he ended up saying her. So, oh, okay, so that's why they made a big deal out of it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's when they should have rolled that clip. I agree.
Roll the tape.
I agree. All right. So then we went back into Cornelius, and they still trying to give Cornelius an intervention with Camille, and he's still not biting. So whatever.
He ain't biting.
I
You
just
know,
wrote Cornelius, you in danger, boy. That's all I said.
he in danger. I don't know what
And
type
then
of
I also
women.
said Camille was crazy.
You know what? And who else is? Because after them, you know who else is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Zadia.
Zadia's at the end. Before it was Zadia, it was Moomin and Frank. They talked about Moomin and Frank.
Oh, I didn't skip them. I'm sorry. That's Lumen and Frank.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they were talking about, so they had a little love story. They would choose each other. And
Mm-hmm.
then she asked them, are they still dating? They was like, well, after the show, it stopped. They didn't date. It was just like loss of contact. And then Frank said, "Oh, I just needed to back away from the cameras, or I just after the taping, I just needed basically some me time or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
But he literally just distanced himself from their relationship or their interaction. So
Right.
if I was Moomin, I would think, okay, so you just ghosted me. So Moomin just got ghosted.
Yes. And that
Hmm.
scene was hard to watch. I think I cried. Wait, did I cry when she was? No, I cried for Tashia. But I felt Moomin. I felt like so bad for
Yeah.
her. She was trying to get the truth out of him. And even if you look back, they turned the camera backstage and you could see the people, the cast back there, like, man, Phil, just tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Frank.
Oh, Frank, I get them mixed up. Frank, tell the truth. So he kept beating around the bush. He wouldn't get to the question. And I think Tanika asked him a direct question.
Hmm.
I don't remember the question.
I don't either, but he
It was
was. the whole time he never was accountable, or he never gave a reason of why they stopped talking, or he was just like, I needed to regroup. And then she was just confronting him about, invest in this time, and we pretty much, in summary, it's like, people were telling me, she said, people were telling me that you were this, but I was going by what your words, and all we have at the end is our words.
Exactly.
Basically, your word is your bond. And, and he didn't go by his word. And in Moomin, you need stop going by people's word. You need to go by people's actions.
Exactly.
I already knew, like, first of all, my predictions was clear. I already knew Moomin Frank wasn't going to work, because Frank in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning was full of shit. I wrote down Frank was always full of shit.
Yeah, he felt
He
it.
was a good talker, but his actions was always loud.
Mm-hmm.
How he treated people. He was talking about I needed to distance, or he said I needed to slow down and I needed to chill when he was referring to movement. He was like, slow down and chill. You were talking about you were always affectionate and you were this, but you were never really pretty affectionate, pretty much.
Mm.
So
And
so what you talking about? Basically, why are you talking about slowing down and
we didn't even start,
you ain't even
basically.
speed up, bitch?
We
So
ain't even get nowhere.
we
And
ain't get
I love
nowhere.
how Moomin just articulated her feelings and just told him about himself and respectfully. And I also love how the women around her was like supporting her in that. They had her back, all the women, even Aisha and Zadia, and they beefing, but they still had Moomin's back
I
and was helping her.
love that. I love that because she was talking, and she got a little choked up.
He got
And
choked up.
Aisha finished what the fuck
That's
she
what
had to
I
say.
did a quote.
I
She
said,
said,
yes, finish her statement. You know what she's saying, sis. Finish it. Be like
finish it.
Mortal
She
Kombat. Finish them.
finish it. She said, I'm gonna finish it. This is what she said. She said, can I read it? She
Yes, baby.
said, you don't get to show up in this world and hurt people. And Sydney nodded, like, I'm glad I made the right decision. She was like, I'm glad I ain't choose that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. I love that anxiety had her. She said the anxiety was just like, if you knew Moomin, you wouldn't do that to her. If you knew who she was, you wouldn't treat her like that. And that is beautiful to see that sisterhood. That's how, and that just shows what a sweet person Moomin is, what a kind-hearted person she really is, to have people have her back like that.
Mm-hmm. And that's how the own network should, that's how we do things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's interesting, and I'm really surprised that she even picked him, and I was curious to see how this was going to play out, and it played out. It didn't go beyond my expectations, because it did what it I thought it was going to do. He was going to not that's her. Okay.
I,
um and,
my assumption.
meanwhile, Walter over there chilling, because he was like, you should have picked me.
Is that
I'm
why
right
they
here.
had Walter on the couch? Is that why they had him on there? Because the people in the back was like, "Yo, wow, why Walter there? He looking like
We
furniture."
didn't even get to Walter. Walter just sitting there
They
like, what
didn't
the fuck
even
I'm doing
get
here?
to him. It was like, why is Walter
It
there?
looked like Walter walked over there to her. He probably said, see, you should have picked me.
Told you. You see, I ain't with Sabrina no
I
more.
told you, Walter was always smitten kitten over Moomin, but his pride, both of them had pride, too much pride.
It'll be cute if they get together after the show, though,
I
because that
know.
happens. The couples do
So they
connect
can sing a
afterwards.
little song. Moo, get it together.
Yeah, they
Get
wrote a
it
whole song. You
right.
trying to sing that song with her?
Moving cool, moving cool. Um, all right. So then we went to so we're all the way at the end talking about we was with Naeem and Zadia was on
Oh,
the couch.
girl. Naeem and
and
Zadia is
some other people, but
who I just have to say it. I'm sorry, Zadia.
what you think about them? Naeem and Zadia look like they still together.
I don't know what scene it was, but I think it was when Aisha, this is when the camera stopped and Aisha said something to Zadia, and Zadia kept smiling the whole time. And when people smile for no freaking reason, it just shows that y'all that you crazy and you're willing and you would do you. I feel like you could chop somebody's head off if you smiling. She gave her the crazy the whole time.
Oh yeah, that was before that.
Zadia had a crazy smile the whole
And then
time
laugh about it.
whenever like people confronted her. So I feel like you smiling to keep from hurting somebody. Anyway, she got some anger issues, and I want her because she proved it. They didn't even get to the part when she put her finger in Dante's face. They didn't even get to that. But if you capable to do that on TV, and anyway, girl, I don't.
Yeah, that part really frustrated me. It really did. Like I didn't I it really made the back of my throat itch when
That's
Naeem
the back of your throat.
when Naeem was one to defend his bae. Um nigga, if you just want to get the draws, just say that.
Just
Like
say that.
you were you rather risk uh you rather be disrespectful to these women that's on stage um than to take ownership or be accountable
Mm-hmm.
for any actions. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
like it
Exactly.
really. And then Zadia, you want to be with somebody who just sit here and just
Don't have no backbone.
disrespect women
Mm-mm.
like that. He
No
wouldn't
backbone.
give this girl, I don't know who was talking. It was somebody talking, and he would not let
Kia,
Carrie.
Carrie.
It was Carrie. Carrie was talking and was telling him about, I don't know, she was saying how Zadia was like a mean girl and wanted her to take ownership to it. And yes, Naeem was trying to defend her or whatever, but he would not let her talk. He just kept talking over her, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, you're being rude. Like, shut up.
Right.
And why are you in these
These
women's
women's
business?
stay out of women's business. I didn't
Stay
say
out.
you was a. I said you was acting
You
like a
acting like a bitch.
bitch.
In my
That's
Nene
why
Leakes
Sydney
voice.
told him he needs to get a peach.
He need a peach. I love Sydney. She said, give him a peach.
Sydney's real voice came out. She got to
She
be from
did.
DC for real because
That's what I said. I said,
I feel
oh, you
like
sound so
she
easy.
not from DC. She from PG County.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it was, Naeem was really blowing me. Like he really, like,
and I feel like he was also Zadia's mouthpiece. I feel like she fed him those words to say, talking about but you guys are really mad that all the guys picked her as their number one. All 8 of the guys picked them as her number one, and you guys are really jealous.
initially. And then that's the thing. And he was saying that like it
And
was a prize. No, it's not a surprise.
they were
Not a
like,
prize.
"How the heck will we know that? We don't care."
First of all, men are visual. So if they picked her
Zadia wore
as the number
spandex in
one,
every scene. She never had on no regular clothes. She wore spandex, all spandex.
the very first episode. So when they get to know you, they realize your personality sucks and they don't want you anymore. Like it's but so much that you can do. Like yeah, physically it's cool, but people go by vibes. People go by feelings. If they know your vibe ain't right, they're not going to be feeling you. And Naeem, I feel like you're still immature. You're still in the infantile stage because all you're looking at is physical. Just what your ex said. Your ex said all you looking at is ass, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much, and that's what you're still going by.
Mm-hmm.
So that's never going to work. Both of you guys are just really immature. It's
That
not gonna
whole
work.
scene was annoying. It was
It
annoying.
was annoying. Nobody was accountable. Zadia makes me want to punch her in her face. Like I've never been so like not never.
Irritated, so irritated with
I
another
was very irritated with her.
human, another adult human who acts like a child. And you know what? And then the word, I know Aisha kept using the word aggressive or whatever, but I was like, no, that's not the word you want to use. Say bully. So she
She's a bully.
finally said bully. I was like, yes, that's the right word you want
No,
to
and she
use.
was being a mean girl.
So yeah, aggressive and mean girl. No, bully and mean girl. She was being a straight up bully. And then that's when we got to the point where she had got off stage and said, "This is ghetto. I gotta go. My mama in the hospital. I cannot. I'm out."
Yeah.
And
So
that's when I cried at the part because I was like, "Oh, she got to be here all day in this whole taping, and they didn't even get to her yet." And y'all talking about y'all no one. And she was like, "Y'all are grown in your 40s, acting like children. Nobody. They were really not. They weren't acting like y'all on their own network. Stop acting like this."
and it wasn't everybody. I feel like people listen, if people do not want to own up to what or be accountable for that, just leave them alone. I mean, you can't argue with fools.
Move along, move
You
on.
cannot argue with fools. You can stake your piece and just move on. And
Exactly.
that's what they needed to do. Um,
And I think that's at the point when Tanika just lost a hold of her class because she just went let them go back and forth. She ain't
yeah,
interject at that point or
she
nothing.
should have. That's yeah. Tanika should have steered the conversation a little better, because you knew the conversation that issue was not going anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere. It's not going to solve anything. Sadia is always going to be probably crazy because if she's 40 now, acting like that, she's going to be 80 acting like that. 40 years from now, acting like that. So is Camille. Okay, and that's it. So I can't wait till the next episode.
That was the end of the episode. All right.
Yeah.
We was here for a little good minute. Thank you for joining in with us on Cut. It's a wrap. We look forward to seeing y'all next week and see what's gonna happen. And I don't know. Peace and blessings.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.